Hi there. I did a tutorial about the power of grouping a while ago, and I want to point you to another strength of grouping today. This is the previous tutorial, which covers more or less the behavior with scaling and rotation, etc. But today we'll concentrate on the rotation, which is very practical for several applications. For example, let's place 3 objects in the scene. 1, 2, and 3. Now select them all, and I want the camera to circle around that assembly of objects. I go to Animation, Visualize, and create a turntable. Use the option box. Set the number of frames to a reasonable frame amount, like 120. The default is 24 frames, which is 1 second only. Now I have a turntable camera, and from the current position, the turntable starts to rotate around the 3 objects within 120 frames. Now, when we go to the turntable camera, it's hidden. Let's unhide it. Shift H. This camera here, we've selected it, has no keyframes at all. It does quite an amazing motion, rotating and always keeping the 3 objects inside, but it has no keyframes. The keyframes sit in that group. It's the object camera is grouped to a higher object, which sits in the center of the 3 objects here. And that's the one which can be rotated. That's the group where the camera sits in. So when I rotate the group, the camera rotates around the scene. And here are the keyframes. That's 1 keyframe, and that's another keyframe. That's basically all. I could insert a keyframe. For example, the animation starts here. If I want it to stop here, I can just add a keyframe for the group for this rotation channel. I don't need to key all channels here by pressing the key S for set a keyframe. Just right mouse click, set key, and then with the middle mouse button I move a little bit further like this to frame 50, and I set the same key here. The middle mouse button basically moves the time slider without updating the scene. So now the camera will stop here and then continue its ride. And I keyframed the group, not the camera. So that's the real power of the groups. Now let's create a light. Arnold Lights area light. The light sits here. I move it back, a little bit up, and I rotate it a little bit. Now the light shines on the 3 objects. Actually, it shines only on the 2 of them. I need to scale it in order to get a bigger illumination here. But what if I wanted to place the same light? I had made several settings here, complicated the color of the light, etc. Now I think I want to move it up here during the animation, or I want to place it up there. So what you would typically do is just move it up, rotate it a little bit, rotate it even further, move it up, etc. like this. I undo this again. The much more convenient way is to group it. So I have the area light selected, and I press Ctrl G for group, and the group sits in here. Now when I move the group, the light moves accordingly. But when I rotate the group, the light doesn't rotate with it, because the transform attributes of the area light are still free. Let us lock them. We'll lock that attribute, meaning we don't want the light to have its own free will for rotating and translating. And now when we go to the group, the light follows, and we can place the light to the top position, for example. So there are a lot of ways to use the groups for planet systems, of course, but this is a very simple way for cameras and for lights. Bye bye.